Hi, my name's Deborah and I'm a therapist working for CiC. So the focus of today's video is going to be on the topic of positive thinking. So it's been shown that positive thinking can have so many benefits for both our physical and our mental health, reducing our stress levels, and that the benefits can even extend to our relationships as well. So whether that be with our colleagues at work or our friends and family at home. So in this video, we wanted to talk about a few key habits that can help to build a more positive mindset. So first of all, let's clear up what is positive thinking. We might think of it as the ability to focus on the positives in any situation, or perhaps to be able to reframe our perspective, to be able to think about things that are going to be more helpful for us. And I think there can be a common misconception that positive thinking means we should feel happy all of the time, that we can only express positive emotions, or even that we should ignore our problems and pretend they don't exist. All of which I think we can agree is maybe not so helpful in the long run. But to be resilient and to adopt positive thinking doesn't mean that we're never allowed to feel angry or upset or disappointed. Of course, all of those things are a normal part of the human experience, but rather it's about what we choose to do with those thoughts and feelings, and the actions that we choose to take that are going to be more helpful for us. And often that involves looking at how we can reframe a situation, maybe by focusing in on where we have the most control to make changes. So in life we might find that stressful or upsetting or unexpected life events are thrown our way, whether that be day-to-day inconveniences like that really annoying traffic jam on the way to work or an unexpected deadline. But it can also be those really tough life events that happen to us, sometimes involving our health or our family members, and all of those things can have an impact on our frame of mind. So a common cause of things like anxiety and overwhelm can be this feeling of having a lack of control, where we feel really helpless, maybe powerless, and we don't know how we can move forwards in a situation. And so one thing that can be really helpful to focus on is looking at what is within our own sphere of control. So for example, we might not be able to control how other people behave, whether that be that person that's a bit rude to you and pushes past on your commute to work, or maybe a tricky relationship with a neighbour or a friend. We may not always be able to control how other people behave, but we can control how we choose to respond. And that might extend to more generally being able to communicate and speak our mind about our preferences, our limits, and what our needs might be. Or it might involve where we are feeling overloaded or stretched, where we might recognise the need to delegate something or ask for help, and sometimes that can be the most resourceful thing that we can do. So an example of this in practice, let's say you're stuck on the train on the way to work, it's stopped on the tracks and it's not moving. There's no way we're going to get to work on time and we feel frustrated. We might think, why does this always happen to me? Nothing ever goes right. The rest of the day is going to be awful now. And so we begin to catastrophise and think about the worst case scenarios of what might happen. We might think everyone's going to be annoyed at me when I get to the office. And so now we're mind reading and we're predicting the future about what's going to happen. Or we might feel pretty annoyed by what's happened, but using that example of focusing on what's within our sphere of control, we might think to ourselves, okay, I'm going to use this time as downtime. I'm going to catch on something else that I've really needed to do, or text or call that friend or that relative that I've been meaning to catch up with for a while or get back to. So in summary, I suppose we may not always be able to control what happens to us in life, but we can learn to control our perspective and how we choose to react to that. So I hope that's been helpful, and thanks very much for watching.